Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Gatiranyata. Kunti Uvacha. We're going to do the English first. Is everybody ready for reciting Queen Kunti's prayers? Yes. I thought you would be. Before we come to Queen Kunti's prayers, because tonight the visual portion of our program is undergoing some repairs. Someone recall here it is. Are you ready? Yes. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators, who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enliver of the cows and the sea drone. Okay, thanks. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers. His glance is as cool as the lotus, and his feet are engraved with lotuses. O Rishikesh, master of the senses and Lord of lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashvatthama. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we can see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. My Lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot approach you with sincere feeling. My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material modes of nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and the master of the monists. My Lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and are misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work though you are inactive, and that you take birth though you are the vital force of the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. And undoubtedly you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. And yet others say that you appeared for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service, hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today? Though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enmity with us. As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. O Gadadhar Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave it, it will no longer be so. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects, because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the oceans full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, person, albeit the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection from my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. Sutta Goswami said, the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. Kunti uvacha namaste purusham dhadyam ishvaram prakrite param alaksham sarvabhutanam antarbahir avastitam maya javani kakshanam agnatoksatam avyayam nalakshase muradrisha nato natya daroyata tata paramahamsanam muninama malatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katham pashyema histriyaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanaಭaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Yata Rishikesha Kalena Devaki Hamsena Rutati Chiram Sucharpita Vimochitaham cha Sahatmaja Vibho Tvayeva Natena Muhurvapadgana Vishan Mahagne Purushara Darshana Asat Sabaya Vanavasa Krishritaha Mride Mride Neka Maharathastrato Dronyastratas-chashma Hare Virakshita Vipara Santuta-shashva Tatra Tatra Jagat-guru Bhavato Darshanam Yat-syad Apunar Bhavatarshanam Janmaishvarya-shruta-shribhir Egamanam Adak-puman Naivahat yavidatum vai Tvama kinchana gocharam Namo kinchana vittaya Nivritta guna vrittaye Atma ramaya shantaya Kaivalya patake namaha Manye tam kalamishanam Anadi nidanam vibhum Samam charantam sarvatra Bhutanam yanmatahkali Naveda kasyit vagavamscha kirshratam Tavehamanasya nirnam vadambanam Nayasya kasyit kaito sikarichit Dveshascha yasmin vishamamatidrinam Janma karma cha vishvatman Ajasya karturatmanaha Hiryam rishishu yadusu Yadadyantam idammanam Yadade tvayi pitagasiddhamatava Yafeda shashukali manjana samramaksham Bhatram naniya bhavatavana yastitasya Samam vimohayati birapi yadvipeti Kechit ahorajam jatam Punya shlokasya kirtaye Yadu Priyasyam Babaye Malayasyeva Chandanam Apare Vasudevasya Evakyam Yakshito Vyagad Ajastvam Asya Shevaya Athaya Chasuradisham Bhavatarana Yange Bhuvo Nava Ivodadho Siddhantya Buddhi Bharena Jato Yatma Bhuvatitaha Bhavesmin Klishyamananam Avidya Kama Karmahi Shravana Smarana Hani Kadishyamiti Kechana Shrivanti Gayanti Granantya Vikshnasha Smaranti Namdanti Tavehi Kanjana Taeva Pashyantya Pacharena Tavakam Bhava Pravaho Paramam Badambujam Apyadyanastam Swapite Hita Prabho Jihasasi Swit Surido Nijivina Yesham Yad Bhavatakvadambuja Parayanam Rajasuyochitam Hasam Kevayam Namarupabhyam Yadhupi Saha Pandava Bhavanto Darshanam Yahi Rishikhanam Ideshitu Neyam Shobishate Tatra Yate Damim Gadadara Svatpadai Ankita Bhati Swalakshana Valakshitai Ime Janapatas Vritta Supakvaushadi Virudaha Ranagrinadyudan Vanto Yedante Tava Vikshitai Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishwamurte Sukeshu Me Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Twaime Nanya Vishaya Matir Madhu Pate Sakrit Ratkim Udvahat Dada Gangeva Ganguthanvati Shri Krishna Krishna Saka Vishni Rishabhavani Druk Rajanya Vamsha Davanana Pavarga Virya Govinda Godvija Surati Haravatara Yogeshwara Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste Sutu Vacha Pritayetam Kalapadai Parinu Kali Daya Nandam Jahasa Vaikunto Mahayan Iva Mayaya Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama. Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. 3, 2, 1. And so, as they proceeded towards Vrindavan, Krishna, 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 Hey. The Lord also declared to Yogamaya, my plenary expansion, Ananta Shesha, is within the womb of Devaki. On account of being forcibly attracted to the womb of Rohini, he will be known as Sankarshana and will be the source of all spiritual power, or bala, by which one can attain the highest bliss of life, which is called Ramana. Therefore, the plenary portion, Ananta, will be known after his appearance, either as Sankarshana or as Balaram. In the Upanishads it is stated, Nayamatma Balhinena Labhya. The purport is that one cannot attain the supreme platform of self-realization without being sufficiently favored by Balaram. Being favored by whom? Bala does not mean physical strength. No one can attain spiritual perfection by physical strength. True or false? One can attain spiritual perfection by physical strength. True or false? Correct. No one can attain spiritual perfection by physical strength. One must have the spiritual strength which is infused by Balaram or Sankarshana. Ananta or Shesha is the source of the power which sustains all the planets in their different positions. Materially, the sustaining power is known as the law of gravitation, but actually it is a display of the potency of Sankarshana. Balaram or Sankarshana is the source of spiritual power, or the original spiritual master. Therefore, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is also the incarnation of Balaram, who? Just Balaram, is the original spiritual master. And then the spiritual master is the representative of Balaram, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who supplies spiritual strength. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is confirmed that the spiritual master is the manifestation of the mercy of Krishna. And now I'm going to call on a reader, volunteer, but here's the caveat. You can't make any mistakes. We'll give you 3 mistakes, and then you have to pass it on to the next person. Who wants to try reading? Okay, you start. You can go as long as you don't make any mistake.
Thus ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogamaya circumambulated the Lord and then appeared within this material world according to his order. When Yogamaya, the supreme power of the supremely powerful personality of Godhead, transferred Lord Sesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. Both Devaki and Rohini were under Yogamaya's spell, which is called Yoga Nidra.
Okay, next. You made 3 mistakes. Okay.
When this was done, people thought that
Turn the drone down just a little bit.
When this was done, people thought that Devaki's
Hint, go slow.
When this was done, people thought that Devaki's 7th pregnancy had been a miscarriage. Thus, although Balaram appeared as the son of Devaki, he was transferred to the womb of Rohini to appear as her son. After this arrangement, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who was always ready to protect his unalloyed devotees, entered within the mind of Vasudeva as the Lord of the whole creation, with full inconceivable potencies. It is understood in this connection that Lord Krishna first of all situated himself in the unalloyed heart of Vasudeva and was then transferred to the heart of Devaki. He was not put into the womb of Devaki by seminal discharge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his inconceivable potency, can appear in any way. It is not necessary for him to appear in the ordinary way by seminal injection within the womb of a woman. When Vasudeva was sustaining the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, he appeared just like the glowing sun, whose shining rays are always unbearable and scorching to the common man. The form of the Lord, situated in the pure unalloyed heart of Vasudeva, is not different from the original form.
That's 3. It's Vasudeva. It's not Vasudeva. Next. Well done anyway. Yes. Okay, that's 1.
The form of the Lord, situated in the pure unalloyed heart of Vasudeva, is not different from the original form of Krishna. The appearance of the form of Krishna anywhere, and specifically within the heart, is called Dhamma. Dham refers not only to Krishna's form, but also to his name. His qualities and his paraphernalia, everything becomes manifest simultaneously. Thus the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with full potencies, was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki, exactly as the setting sun's rays are transferred to the full moon rising in the east. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus entered the body of Devaki from the body of Vasudeva without being subject to any of the conditions of an ordinary living entity. Since Krishna was there, it is to be understood that all his plenary expansions, such as Narayan, and incarnations like Lord Nrsimha and Varaha were with him, and they were not subject to the conditions of material existence. In this way, Devaki became the residence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is one without a second and the cause of all creation. Devaki became the residence of the Absolute Truth, but because she was confined within the house of Kamsa, she looked just like a suppressed fire, or like misused education. When fire is kept in a jug, the illuminating rays of the fire cannot be very much appreciated. Similarly, misused knowledge, which does not benefit the people in general, is not very much appreciated. So Devaki was kept within the prison walls of Kamsa's palace, and no one could see her transcendental beauty, which resulted from her conceiving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kamsa, however, saw this transcendental beauty of his sister Devaki.
Okay, that's it. Oh wait, finish the sentence.
And he at once concluded the Supreme Personality of Godhead had taken shelter in her womb.
Good job. Bhakti.
Kamsa, however, saw the transcendental beauty of his sister Devaki, and he had at once concluded that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had taken shelter in her womb. She had never before looked so wonderfully beautiful. He could distinctly understand that there was something wonderful within the womb of Devaki. In this way, Kamsa became perturbed because he was sure that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who would kill him in the future, had now come. Kamsa began to think, what is to be done with Devaki? Surely she has Vishnu or Krishna within her womb, so it is certain that Krishna has come to execute the mission of the demigods, and even if
Very good, very good. Who's next? Who are you pointing to? Okay. A lot of volunteers. Okay.
Kamsa became perturbed because he was sure that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who would kill him in the future, had now come. Kamsa began to think, what is to be done with Devaki? Surely she has Vishnu or Krishna within her womb, so it is certain that Krishna has come to execute the mission of the demigods. And even if I immediately kill Devaki, his mission cannot be frustrated. Kamsa knew very well that no one can frustrate the purpose of Vishnu. Any intelligent man can understand that the laws of God cannot be violated. His purpose will be served in spite of all impediments offered by the demons. Kamsa thought, if I kill Devaki at the present moment, Vishnu will enforce his supreme will more vehemently. To kill Devaki just now would be a most abominable act. No one desires to kill his reputation, even in an awkward situation. If I kill Devaki now, my reputation will be spoiled. Devaki is a woman, and she is under my shelter. She is pregnant, and if I kill her, immediately my reputation, the results of my pious activities, and my duration of life will all be finished. He further deliberated. A person who is too cruel is as good as dead, even in this lifetime. No one likes a cruel person during his lifetime, and after his death, people curse him. On account of his self-identification with the body, he must be degraded and pushed into the darkest region of hell. Kamsa thus meditated on all the pros and cons of killing Devaki at that time. Kamsa finally decided not to kill Devaki right away, but to wait for the inevitable future. But his mind became absorbed in animosity against the personality of Godhead. He patiently waited for the delivery of the child, expecting to kill him, as he had done previously with the other babies of Devaki. Thus being merged in the ocean of animosity against the personality of Godhead, he began to think of Krishna or Vishnu while sitting, while sleeping, while walking, while eating, while working, in all the situations of his life. His mind became so much absorbed with the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that indirectly he could see only Krishna or Vishnu around him. Unfortunately, although his mind was so absorbed in the thought of Vishnu, he is not recognized as a devotee because he was thinking of Krishna as an enemy. The state of mind of a great devotee is also to be always absorbed in Krishna, but a devotee thinks of him favorably, not unfavorably. To think of Krishna favorably is Krishna consciousness, but to think of Krishna unfavorably is not Krishna consciousness. At this time, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narada, and followed by many other demigods, invisibly appeared in the house of Kamsa. They began to pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in select verses, which are very pleasing to the devotees and which award fulfillment of their desires. The first words they spoke acclaimed that the Lord is true to his vow. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna descends to this material world just to protect the pious and destroy the impious. That is his vow. The demigods could understand that the Lord had taken his residence within the womb of Devaki to fulfill his vow, and they were very glad that the Lord was appearing in order to fulfill his mission. Then the demigods addressed the Lord as Satyam Param, or the Supreme Absolute Truth. Everyone is searching after the truth. That is the philosophical way of life. The demigods give information that the Supreme Absolute Truth is Krishna. One who becomes fully Krishna conscious can attain the Absolute Truth. Krishna is the Absolute Truth because, unlike relative truth, he is truth in all the three phases of eternal time. Time is divided into past, present, and future. Krishna is truth always, past, present, and future. In the material world, everything is being controlled by supreme time in the course of past, present, and future. But before the creation, Krishna was existing, and when there is creation, everything is resting in Krishna. And when this creation is finished, Krishna will remain. Therefore, he is the absolute truth in all circumstances. If there is any truth within this material world, it emanates from the supreme truth, Krishna. If there is any opulence within this material world, the cause of the opulence is Krishna. If there is any reputation within this material world, the cause of the reputation is Krishna. If there's any strength within this material world, the cause of such strength is Krishna. If there's any wisdom and education within this material world, the cause of such wisdom and education is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the source of all relative truths.
Well done, well done. We'll make you first next time. Okay? Remind me. Vocab time. It's a game. You ready? Okay, 3 people are ready. Everybody else cover your ears.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. As Marsh said, today we'll be playing a vocab game. And vocabulary is really important. So if you're trying to speak, write, communicate, words really matter. So today we're gonna play a vocab game, and we're gonna have 3 words, and I'll give an example of how to use that word in a sentence. And can we go to the next slide, please? Right. For example, the first word is tenet. It's a noun, and the definition is a principle or belief, especially one of the main principles of a religion or philosophy. There are several roots. I'll read the main ones: principle, opinion, or dogma maintained as true by a person, sect, school, etc. So an example could be chanting the holy names is a tenet of Bhakti Yoga. And now it's your turn. Next slide, please. Okay, so your job is to come up with a sentence that uses the vocab words from today. So we'll have volunteers, and if you would like to volunteer, please raise your hand. And you can work with one more person. So we'll have 2 people come up with a sentence for 1 word. Just 1 sentence, but you can work together.
Do you have a panel of judges?
Yes.
Because we get some strained sentences sometimes when we play this.
We have Anapani Bhakti and Madhuri Saki.
Okay.
And Gitavali, Vrindaranya, Anushri, and Niharika. Right. Oh, sorry. Who would like to volunteer? Please raise your hand. Dulcie? Okay. Do you want to pair up with someone? You can.
I want to pair with Ramini.
Okay. All right, your word is on the screen, tenet. You can take a few moments to think about it. Oh, we gave him.
No. Definition: a principle or belief, especially one of the main principles of a religion, personality. Root: principle, opinion, or dogma mandated as true by the person, sect, school, act. Property, thing, health.
Yes, perfect. Now, can you use the word in a sentence? So an example could be using tenet in a sentence. So chanting the names of Krishna is a tenet of Bhakti Yoga.
Chanting the names of Krishna is Bhakti Yoga.
Take it.
That was amazing. What a team. Tulsi and Ramani, amazing. We'll have one more volunteer. Maybe does someone else want to try? Yes. Ryan, do you want to pair with someone? Okay, who's your pair? Rian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You turn the screen off.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yes, tenet.
Tenet is deity worship is a tenet in Bhakti Yoga.
Wow. That was awesome. All right, let's move on to the next word. And your next word is usurp. It's usurp? Usurp. Okay, it's usurp. It's a verb, and the definition is take a position of power or importance illegally or by force. And root, it comes from early 14th century, from Old French usurp, to wrongfully appropriate, and etc. Right. So an example could be that Duryodhan tried to usurp the throne from Yudhishthira in the Mahabharata. So do we have any volunteers for this word? Radhika? Okay. Oh, Gopika? Okay. Would you like to pair with someone? You can. Naina? Okay.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
You can also phone a friend if you need help.
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna.
Any older devotees would like to volunteer and they can help, or they can help. Radhika. Yeah, you can help them.
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Looks like you've got it.
Kamsa usurped the throne from Ugrasena.
Wow. That was awesome. Looks like you guys have been paying attention to the Krishna book reading. Almost. All right. This is our last word. So this is our last chance to volunteer if you would like to. I'll read the word first. The word is mire. It's a noun. The definition: a stretch of swampy or boggy ground. Acres of land had been reduced to a mire, or a situation or state of difficulty, distress, or embarrassment from which it is hard to extricate oneself. Root is 1300 from a Scandinavian source, such as Old Norse mire, bog, swamp. All right, and an example could be Bharat Maharaj became mired in an attachment to a deer in the Bhagavatam. So, do we have any volunteers? Krishna Saka Prabhu? All right. Prabhu, would you like to pair with someone? Shastra Sar?
I am in mire of material existence.
Wow.
We don't accept, but we'll accept the answer, right?
All right.
Give her the mic.
You were saying that we could
No.
use.
Go ahead and do it.
Use.
Oh. It's one of the tenets of Krishna consciousness that one does not usurp another's. Otherwise, one stays in the mire of material life.
Haribol. That was bonus points for Manjula Kanta Mataji. Haribol. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of our vocabulary game. Hare Krishna.
Kadachit kalindi tata vipina sangi takaravo mudabiri nari vadana kamala shana madhupa Rama Shambud Rama Marapatiga Neshar Chitapado Jagannatha Swami Narayana Bhaktadani Jagannatha Swami Narayana Prabhu Deva Patala Bhavam. Go to the verses. We'll come back to this one. There you had it. Kriya Soyam Krishna Sahachari Urushetra Militas Aham Saradha Tadidam Bhuvaya Sangamasukam Not yet. What's the verse? Did you learn it? We got introducing a new one. What's the number from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, chapter 13? Number what? 137. 13, 137. This is a verse, CC. This is a verse spoken by Swarup Damodar. During the Rath Yatra parade, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. And to evoke feelings of ecstatic ecstasy in the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's closest associate, Swarup Damodar. Oh, that's not it. It's the other one. I mean, this is one of them, but it's not the one I meant. 113, please. Everyone ready for a new verse? So much ready. This is life. This is a verse spoken by Swarup Damodar to evoke the ecstatic ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the dancing. We'll read the translation first so we know what it is. It's in the mood of Rath Yatra. Translation. Now, everyone, now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. This song refers to Srimati Radharani's meeting with Krishna at the holy place of Kurukshetra, where Lord Sri Krishna and his brother and sister came to visit when there was a solar eclipse. It is a song of separation from Krishna. When Radharani met Krishna at Kurukshetra, she remembered his intimate association in Vrindavan. And she thought, now I have gained the Lord of my life. In his absence, I was being burned by the arrow of Cupid, and thus I was withering away. Now I have my life again. And this is, okay. Now to the Bengali. Balu Takun. You got a mic?
Hare Krishna. So I consulted with Tejas and Shastra Sar regarding the tune. They're 23 syllables, so I don't think there's a conventional one, but we can make the same one that we're using for Anyera Hridoyamana work. So it would go like Seta Parananatha Painujaha Lagi. And we'd hold the Lagi, and then we'd do Madana Dahane Jurigenu.
Can we hold the A on Lagi instead of the
yes.
E?
Yes.
Try it again.
Seta Parananatha Painujaha Lagi
Madana Dahane Jurigenu. Harmonium. Seta Parananatha Painujaha Lagi Madana Dahane Jurigenu. Madana Dahane Jurigenu. Seta Parananatha Painujaha Lagi. No. Madana Jurigenu. You break apart Dahane. If you just divide Da and Hani, right? Try it again. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Go.
Seta Parananatha Painujaha Lagi Madana Dahane Jurigenu.
One more time.
Seta. Wait, I messed up.
Say it again.
I think the difference is the way we're beginning. So the one I followed was what Krishna Prabhu did. So it was Sita Parananatha. So that's the timing of how it would begin.
Seta Parananatha. Then, just do a piece at a time.
Sita Parananatha.
Seta Parananatha.
Panujahalagi.
Hainujahalagi.
Madanadahane jurigenu.
Mananadahane judigenu.
Seta Parananatha.
Seta Parananatha.
Panujahalagi.
Hainujahalagi.
Madanadahane jurigenu.
Madanadahane judigenu. One more time.
Seta Parananatha. Seta Parananatha. Seta Parananatha. Seta Parananatha. Seta Parananatha. Panujahalagi.
Hainujahalagi.
Madanadahane jurigenu.
Madanadahane judigenu.
Seta Parananatha.
Nata.
Panujahalagi.
Hainujahalagi.
Madanadahane jurigenu.
Madanadahane judigenu.
Seta Parananatha.
All the way. Rananatha.
Seta Parananatha. Panujahalagi. Madanadahane jurigenu.
Seta
Seta
Parananatha. Hainujahalagi. Mananadahane judigenu. One more time.
Seta Parananatha. Panujahalagi. Madanadahane jurigenu.
Just do the last verse of that one. Finish the last line, but do it. Nice. Yeah. Just the last line. That's the same tune as Gauranga. Is that the same tune that? It's exactly the same.
Maybe I messed up a little, but I believe it's the same too.
Okay. Anyway, you did great. You only had an hour to prepare and you did all that. Thank you. It's a start. It's a start. And now we can do the concluding verse of the Jagannath Ashtakam. Jagannath Ashtakam Punyam Yapatit Prayata Shuchi Sarva Papa Vishuddhatma Vishnu Lokam Sagachyati Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everybody. Back to Vrindavan. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Premanande. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, And now we have a few minutes to discuss what's going on in our lives. If you have any complaints about the material world? There's a complaint box you can file them in. Yeah, you have a complaint. Go ahead. Farkaranki.
I don't have a complaint, but I have a question.
Okay.
So this was a question which was asked to you on YouTube, that what advice would you give to a solo sadhaka?
To the solo sadhaka. Get some association. All of us have some time to be solo sadhakas. And my advice is to take advantage of those times more than at any other time, because when we're able to rise to the occasion when we're alone, then we begin to trust ourselves. And there's a sublimity to that we're in resonance with the Supersoul, because he's the only one watching. And when we're able to carry out our sadhana plan, even though there's no one else there, that develops spiritual integrity. And that changes the way we move in the world, and it changes the quality of our speech, everything about us. So when we are solo, be very deliberate in taking one step after another to perform required sadhana. And then try to get as much association as possible through either checking in with other sanghas on the online platform or writing to people and getting responses. It's important. Thank you very much. More realizations, thoughts, questions? 1, 2.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So I just have to tell about an incident that happened. So day before yesterday night, I was in the emergency. My mom was having anxiety, and we rushed to the emergency. And while she was there, they checked all the vitals, everything was normal. And a nurse came in, and while the nurse is there, we started talking to her. And then we talked about Krishna consciousness. And then we talked about the Mahamantra. And I told my mom, why don't you repeat the Mahamantra to her and let her repeat. And she was saying Mahamantra after my mom. And she was not even saying it properly. Like, she's a Filipino. She's something like, Hare Kitna, Hare Krishna, Kifta, Kifta, Hare, something like that she said. And immediately after that, she said, I'm not feeling good. Something's happening to me. And she went back. She said, Rachi, this never happened to me. And I feel a rush of energy going through me, and something like that she said. And it looked like we were the doctors there, and she's the patient. And then after that, they discharged my mom, and when we were driving back at 3 a.m. in the night or something like that, I realized that was the only purpose, that we had gone there to give her the Mahamantra. And so
This can be a new kind of Sankirtan. Just check yourself in somewhere. Thank you. I'm glad she's okay. Yes. Sorry. Come right back to you.
Hare Krishna.
Go. 1, 2,
Hare Krishna.
3. Go.
I had a question, Guru Maharaj. I was thinking that such a power-packed weekend, and I felt so nourished and energized, and even in this youth jam. And I was thinking, I'll have to go to work tomorrow, and it just feels like such two different worlds, and I just really see the difference. I'm like, I'm so energized and nourished. And then when I go back to work, it feels like that drive to go in that mode again is just, I feel so hesitant in going into that. So I wanted to ask, how can we best, even in those times, keep the transcendental vibration going and continue with our duty, even though it's a big difference between the weekend and then the weekdays?
Well, the first verse that you know I'm going to say, Vidyam cha yas tadvedo bayam saha avidyayam ratum tirdva vidyayam ratum ashnite. Only one who can learn the process of transcendental knowledge, only one who can learn the process of devotional service, of transcendental knowledge and nescience side by side, can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. So it's really good that you notice the difference. And otherwise, you can always keep the transcendental vibration going. One thing I recommend is carry a few index cards with you wherever you go with some things that you want to memorize and learn. Just keep them in your pocket if you have one and pull them out whenever you can. And just keep it going in your mind. Repeat in between engagements when you have breaks and things like that. That can be really nice. It's sort of clandestinely chanting shlokas when otherwise it would just be a gap. And you could also remember, as Prabhupada says in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, that whatever work you're doing, just think, I'm doing this for Krishna. In fact, he says it in the Gita 9th chapter also, and then he says, Shubha Shubha Palera Eva Mokshashe Karma Bandhanai, that when you offer it to Krishna, think I'm doing this for Krishna, then the auspicious or inauspicious nature of it won't adhere to you. It's all Krishna's energy. We were just reading today from the 11th canto how everyone's experiencing Krishna's energy one way or another. Yasmin yato yarhi yena cha yasya yasman. Yasma yata yedutaras pa paro tat tapara parova. Bhava karoti vikaroti prataksabhava sanchoditas tadakilam bhavat taksarupam. Everything is Krishna's energy. But noticing the contrast, just like at the end of our yatras, I remember Madhavananda used to say when everyone was sad leaving, he'd say, that's good. You should feel sad. When Gitavali was just a little kid, went to a yatra, and when she realized she was leaving Puri, she cried all the way home, all the way back to the airport, on the plane. And it's good to feel attached to devotional service so much so that you feel sad when you have to go away. And that's a kind of separation. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. So my question was that on the weekends when we go to the temple, we're in the association of devotees and we chant, we read scripture, we hear classes, and we do service. But it's far more joyful and you do it a lot more enthusiastically than when you do your bhajan at home, the same things, reading, chanting, and so forth. Is that how it's supposed to be, or is there a way we can maintain the same level of enthusiasm and joy in our day-to-day practice as we do in the association of devotees?
Well, there are different levels of energy. You know, when you have the opportunity to hear and chant by yourself at home, then you have that, as I described earlier, sense of presenting it to Krishna. The other day, I remembered at the last minute before I took rest that I hadn't done my chad. Have you ever had that happen? And then I thought, well, I could just go to sleep. So that's what I felt like doing. But I got back up again and I read it. And that is a different energy than getting swept away by the kirtan. And so if you can be methodical and do your sadhana at home, maybe a slightly different energy, but it's just as meaningful because you're offering it to Krishna. And you have a personal relationship with him and you're doing it for him. And if you remember that, it's very sweet. So it's not supposed to be any particular way. You don't have... Life is full of different circumstances. And the day's different from morning to afternoon to evening. So it's all different. So just keep the transcendental vibration going. Whatever way you can. And don't feel bad if at a certain point in your day or week or month or or life, when you feel you're not doing as well as you were before, you'll come back up. And oftentimes those down periods where you're able to just eke it out, struggle through, they become very meaningful to you later on. It's not such an easy prospect, us against the material nature. But as Prabhupada assures us in the light of the Bhagavad, if you're just determined and patient and you keep going, then devotional service will come of its own force, and it will grab you. As it's already grabbed you to some degree, but it will grab you in a more fierce way. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yesterday I attended His Grace Harivamsha Prabhu's youth program, and he mentioned the importance of making your bed in the morning. So he gave the analogy that if you come home and you've had like the worst day at work or at school and you didn't get anything accomplished, but if you come home to a bed that's made in an organized room, it really makes a difference. So I feel like this really shows how even the small things in life matter, and even if it takes an extra minute of your day to make your bed or clean your room, we should maintain cleanliness and organization in the places that we are in most, as it deeply affects our mindset. And I feel that that's true even in my life personally, is if I have my room or like where I work, if it's messy, then when I come home, I don't feel focused, and I don't feel focused to do my work. But when it's organized, I feel the drive to actually study. So I feel like cleanliness is very important, and making your bed.
It is. It's an excellent point. You learn that in the ashram. Nobody gets up and just leaves a mess. They do. They'll be summarily chastised. And Prabhupada emphasized keeping everything neat and clean. When Prabhupada traveled and he'd stop in a new place, he had his assistant set up everything on his desk exactly the way it was in the last location. And he was meticulous about how he kept any valuable things he had. He had them double locked and then put them in a safe place, because they're all Krishna's. And your point about cleanliness and being neat is well taken. If you clean your room the night before and you put everything in order, when you wake up, you'll think, who did that? It takes a moment to realize, oh, that was me. And then it's true. When you're in an environment that's uncluttered and that is well ordered, then the inspiration is there, the focus is there also. And it's also helpful to set out the things that you're going to read or chant the next day. If you put them out, then when you wake up and you see them there, it's the first thing your mind goes to, rather than your smartphone. Because that can happen. But if you plan it ahead of time, then you can go in the right direction. Excellent point. Thank you very much. Even in military, when people go to boot camp, they have to learn how to keep everything perfectly in order. That's part of the training in the military. Not that I went into the military, but I met enough military people when I was on Sankirtan. And besides that, it's a well-known fact. Who was going to clap? You can go ahead now. Okay. All right. One more. Yes, Triti.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So this morning I was contemplating over this saying that I've heard. It's called the enemy of happiness is expectation. They also say expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. And this is also when I'm saying this comes to mind. There's a theory in consumer behavior research called the expectation disconfirmation theory, that the satisfaction that your brain, that the customer gets, is from the gap between their expectation and their experience. And and neuroscience too, there's the brain's dopamine system only activates the most when the gap is the most. It's called like reward prediction error, if I'm not wrong. And so like scientifically it's proven. And so I was thinking, so the solution to be happy is to eradicate all your expectations, right? But that's not the solution, because in this material world, we're ensnared in the trap of like expectations and desires. But when we practice spiritual life and Krishna consciousness, the only expectation that we have is to serve Krishna in the best way possible and to serve devotees in the best way possible. And that's the one expectation that can never make you disappointed. So yeah, I was thinking about that. And I also thought there's like a precariously fine line between having a material expectation or material desire and a spiritual desire, and that they can become into each other, if that makes sense. Like a material desire can become into a spiritual desire really quickly, or a spiritual desire can become into a material desire really quickly. It just matters who you're doing it for. Like if you're doing it for Krishna, then it's a spiritual desire. If you're doing it for yourself, it's a material desire. So I was really realizing this when I was like in the middle of a kirtan, and I was thinking, and Ayendra Prabhu said this too. He said that, are you singing it in order to sound good for yourself, for your egoic gratification, or are you singing for the pleasure of the Lord? And I realized that was the problem. Why whenever I would sing a kirtan, and if I messed up, I would beat myself over it after. And then, but now it like revolutionizes the way I see kirtan, because now I just like focus on putting my attention onto Krishna, and afterwards I feel so much more refreshed. And it's all because even if I slip up, I know that Yogakshema Mahamyaham, Krishna carries what I lack and preserve what I have. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking over the week.
You're a double major, psychology and marketing. That was really brilliant. Yeah, I had that discussion once with Rupanuga Prabhu, who teaches at Chapman. He's the head of the GBC College. And I was saying, we're at his house, and I was talking about expectations. And I said, well, you have to lower your expectations. He says, actually, the term is manage your expectations. And then I was thinking, just pursuant to your thought process about how Krishna helps us manage our expectations in the Bhagavad Gita. For instance, he says, from the lowest planet up to the highest planet, see all this area here? Like it's everything. It's a place of misery. That kind of helps manage your expectation, because if you're expecting more than that and you haven't managed your expectation, then you might be sorely disappointed. I really liked how you put all those thoughts together. It was very well done, especially how you mentioned how, I thought it was profound how you mentioned that a material desire could transform into a spiritual desire, or a spiritual endeavor or activity, and the desire to perform it can also become material. So we have to be aware of it. And then you gave the example how even in kirtan you can be singing. And although it sounds like you're singing Hare Krishna, what's actually coming out is, look at me, look at me, look at me, everybody look at me. So, nice points. Could do a nice essay on that. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please protect all the devotional creepers of all the devotees here at ISV and all over the world. Please empower us to work together for the most worthy mission of expanding the Sankirtan movement all over the Bay Area. Please let us be patient in our practices of devotional service and follow in the footsteps of the great acharyas. And please let us be kind friends to all the devotees everywhere and all living entities. Thank you for considering our requests. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other announcements? Vanchakalpataruscha kripasinabhe vichapatitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnavini ki jai go premanande.